And congratulations, a thoroughly deserved victory. How do you assess the performance?
I think we did well. It was not a perfect performance. I think we had our moments, but during the game we were competitive. We stay focused in every detail, and that is the kind of the wins that the big team should have. The game is not always perfect. We don't play really well. Sometimes the opponent has the ball, but we know what to do. We are really focused in every moment of the game. So a clean sheet is really good, but we need to forget this one and to prepare the next one.
The earliest you've scored in a Premier League game since your first match in charge, and it really set the tone, didn't it, that Mason Mount goal?
Yeah, and that's, if you look our recent past, you can feel it that when things go well in the beginning of the game, we can maintain the level. When anything happens against us, we suffer a lot, so we need to change. Is more when we have something against us, and we need to improve on that.
And everyone's talking again this season about long throws, and your second goal came from exactly that position.
Yeah, we need to look what is working. Sometimes you don't have the opportunities during the game, and with one throw in we manage to score a goal. So that is massive nowadays. If you see Premier League, is like we need to pay attention to every detail. We are doing that.
And for your centre forward Šeško to score 2 goals in 2 games at the start of his Manchester United career, how important is that for him?
It's really important for him. He lives for the goals. It's important to take out all that pressure that he has. But for me, the most important thing is that every time we kick the ball, Ben was there to fight for the ball, is there to connect, is there to press. That is more important than people think. So I'm really happy with him. The goals are going to be a consequence of the help of the teammates and the way we play.
And the fans got their first look at your new goalkeeper, Lamens. They obviously like him very much. How pleased were you with his performance?
I'm really pleased because all the teammates helped Sen to have a very good first match. When you look at him, you can feel the confidence that he has. He can play with both feet. That is more important than people think. He didn't look nervous. That is also a very good thing. So people are pleased, but he has another guys want to play. So it's going to be a good fight.
3 home wins in a row, which is great. But how much does the clean sheet mean to you to get that first one of the season?
It's really important because when you look at this kind of game, you look at a team that is focused again. So we are going always to the same thing. Is going to be important in the future. In 3 games in a row in the big team at home is supposed to be the normal. It's not the normal, but at the same time, it's a little bit frustrating to see my team to play like this at home, but then in a way we are not.
That pressure, right? Let's head straight back to Old Trafford and hear from Benjamin Šeško after he scored his first home goal for Manchester United.
Ben, very well done today. After that result and that performance, I guess it must be a pretty happy Manchester United dressing room.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Yeah, it was definitely important for us to win the game for the guys, just for in general environment. Yeah, I mean, we were fighting till the end, trying to give everything in every single situation, and yeah, thankfully then we won the game in the end.
How much pressure was there on you going into this game?
Obviously, it's always a lot of pressure, especially in the club like this, but we always take it in a positive way, try to take it in the best way as possible. We did it, and we show once again that we can play well, we can win games, and yeah, it's just now important to continue like that.
And I think that's... Hello and welcome back to Premier League Live. Let's head over to Old Trafford now and have a look at how events unfolded between Manchester United and Sunderland. Man United registering a 2-0 win. Mason Mount on the score sheet first, Glenn. This felt like a really significant victory for the team.
Yeah, a big one for the manager and the players. You know, they're at home as well. It's a tricky sort of game for them in many ways. He'll enjoy his glass of wine tonight, and I've got to say, he really will, because this is a nice little finish. I think Mount's done really well since his injury. He's come back in. He's one of the shining lights for United at the moment. But it was such an important victory, and Šeško getting his first home game goal, you know, terrific for him. If he starts putting the ball in the back of net, it'd become a different story. But no, a great win for United, and what they've got to try and do now is obviously go back to back They've got an international break, which is unfortunate for them.
Probably come at the wrong time for them now, seeing as they've picked up momentum. But in a way, at least it alleviates the most important point, isn't it, Danny? They have to continue in this fashion.
Yeah, they've been here a few times, haven't they, where they've had a good result, everyone's feeling a bit better about themselves, and then they play the next one and struggle. Difficulty for them is the next game's at Anfield. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it was a huge win for the manager, a huge win for the team in terms of taking the pressure off themselves. But it's going to be a difficult few weeks. They've got some tough fixtures coming up, but they've got to try and get some momentum now in the next few weeks so he can get that pressure off him that seems to build every time they have a bad result.
Yeah, and so much has been said, Righty, about the system that Ruben Amorim plays, and it doesn't fit the players, but it all seemed to have worked out well today.
Yeah, against Sunderland. Sunderland's side has just come up, who, obviously went to Man United thinking, let's frustrate them, see if we can hold them out. But in the end, Man United, whatever we say about them, whatever we say about their system, they've got players who can conjure up. Yeah, they can hurt you. They can conjure up some quality. And like in that instance, we saw that, especially with that Mason Mount's goal. So, Danny's right. They go to Anfield next week or after the break. And then we'll see where we go.
Is watching because, listen, every time we talk about Manchester United, it does feel like deja vu because after an awful performance a week ago against Brentford, which we much discussed at the start of the programme, they're back to winning ways at home. How good a performance was it from United this afternoon?
Really good. And I'm just pleased to give them a bit of credit for once. It's always, like we said at the beginning of the show today, is Groundhog Day. Keep criticising them for bad performances, but we're only saying what we see. And what we saw today was a very good performance from Manchester United. I don't think he will have to fend off any questions about his system today. The players.
So why did it work today? Did Sunderland help them to make it work, or is it just the player performance?
I mean, let's give them credit. It just worked. It worked today. They played more direct. That's the difference. Lamans makes his debut.
How did he look
in
overall?
Goal. Fine. He's got a clean sheet. It's another positive for him. On his debut.
Was he tested much? I mean, 3 shots on target from Sunderland overall.
Yeah, but he done everything. He took a few crosses. When they're under a little bit of pressure, he'd come. He's a big guy. He come and took the crosses. And his distribution was decent, but they never asked him to tippy-tappy around the penalty area and decide to be, little stupid passes in around the area to make a rod for his own back and put pressure on himself by making a mistake. They asked him to get the ball up the field to Šeško, and that's what they did. Šeško was the man of the match today. He flicked things on, he took defenders under the ball, and the likes of Mason Mount and then Burma were just narrowing up off the sides. The width was coming from the wing backs, and they were giving him load of support. He was holding the ball up, he was laying things off to Bruno Fernandes, who was breaking forward. Casemiro was just playing as a 6, just a little bit of protection. That's all they needed today, just that one in there. And they dominated from start to finish.
And put into context, listen, it was in a losing cause a week ago, but Šeško gets his first goal. He's got another one today. The opening 6 games didn't get a goal. He began to look about like that United shirt we talked about earlier, being in a way already heavy on his shoulders. These last 2 games for him personally have been massive, haven't they?
I think that Ruben's left him in the team, and that's absolutely what you have to do.
Get your confidence up.
He should have played him at home to Burnley, a newly promoted side. In that game, I thought he should have blooded him. It's difficult when you're playing likes of Man City, when you're getting thrown in and it's hardly getting a kick of the ball, and then you're coming off the field, and he's making changes and your confidence just gets drained. Yes, he scored in defeat last week, and it's the first goal at the Stretford end today. It'll be massive for him. Celebrated it like it was the best goal he's ever scored, and rightly so, because he needs to score goals. They brought him to score goals, but his all-round play today was very good. He's not someone who's going to burst away from defenders and run in on goal, but what he puts himself about, he brings others into the game, and his goal today was a long throw, just got flicked on, he was in the right pace at the right time, just got across the defender and tapped it into the back of the net. So, it was really good for Man United today. And I was saying to Clinton after the game, they're clapping the fans, they're walking around the pitch. These Man United fans are so good. I mean, they're standing there, largely still in the ground, and they're clapping them off the pitch. It's been them guys have seen them be brilliant. We talked about how they was great. Largely, a lot of these fans have been there. They've seen the good times, and they've seen some terrible times recently. But they want their team to do well. and they want them so badly to do well. They give them the support they deserve today. Deserve the support today, and they got it from them great fans.
And listen, it's important for Ruben Amorim. He goes into an international break off the back of his 50th.
What'd you say?
A young Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Warsaw Gummidge, that's how it was described as.
Let's talk about Manchester United. They've got the 3 points on the board, so they're going to the international break. Happy enough with that. Aside from that, what's the main positive that they would take out of today, or who are the main positives?
Yeah, a couple of individual performances, I think. Ahmad in particular, a player of wonderful abilities. Probably got pushed out in the number 10 position with the arrival of Mbueno and Cunha. But I think such is his quality in this kind of Manchester United squad. You have to get him into the team somewhere, Owen. And I think this could be the area where he plays most of his minutes in a right wing back position. It's not ideal for him. He's not a natural defender, and he might have his problems when he comes up against opposition wingers of real high quality. But this is the reason why he's in the team. When you get him the ball in mid-third of the pitch, he can drive at players in 1v1 situations. Dalot can't do this. Mazraoui can't do this. Even in tight areas, this is why he's a number 10. Doesn't get phased in these little tight pockets. Can work little kind of 1-2s, 1v1 situations. Again, very comfortable. So I understand why he's in the team. I think we'll see more of him, because he gives Manchester United a different dimension down this side of the pitch. Like I said, when Mazraoui there, Dalot's a little bit too conservative. Passes are sideways or backwards. Not with this fella. Can take on his man in 1v1 situations, and his head's up. He's always looking for the next pass. So delivered a good performance today, but nothing we don't already know. The question is, when he comes up against the better wingers in 1v1 situations and has to defend in his own third of the pitch, can you really trust him? I'm not too sure.
Wing backs don't have to defend anymore, do they? Just go forward like that.
No, listen, he's a good player and he had a good day today. But as I said once, and I'll repeat myself, when the game is played at Man United's tempo, on their terms, it allows him to join in gradually, and he gets to kind of show all his good qualities. It's when teams up the tempo and the ball changes hands quite quickly is when he gets exposed, because he's not a defender. He gets caught out of position quite a bit.
He has been one of the better players, one of the very few players probably who've played to potential under Amorim, though, right? At times, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a team.
Give me that.
Yeah, they're talking about a team that got 37 out of 35 now games, I think it is.
Yeah.
So or 34 games. So it's not a high bar, but he's done okay. Yeah.
Okay, talking about the striker then, Benjamin Šeško got his goal last week, which didn't really matter. This one did matter a little bit. What about his overall performance?
Yeah, look, he's come in, took time to find his feet. He didn't start this game particularly well. Myself and Kenny looked at each other quite early on. There was a lot of moments like this where the ball was coming up to him and he was flicking it. The Sunderland defenders just seemed a little bit too strong for him. He's definitely got something. I'm not sure what it is yet. I'm sure once he finds his rhythm, finds his place in this team, this always helps, getting goals. We criticised the last striker Hoyland because he didn't score enough, and his link-up play wasn't good enough, but goals will tend to paper over those little weaknesses. As the game wore on, he seemed to kind of work his way into it. He is a handful, he's a big boy. Little moments like this where he can set it and then get off on the run, and look at him then trying to make a beeline for the box. Didn't quite come that time, but this is the good stuff. That's what you want to see more of as a focal point. And when he starts showing stuff like that, the players will trust him more. Midfield players will fire balls into him, studs on it, plays the likes of Mbuemo in. So there's something there. I don't know what he's going to develop into yet, but he's certainly an improvement on what was there.
Yeah, if you looked at Rasmus Højlund's goals for Napoli midweek, he got a headed goal from across into the box and a ball in behind, just a straight line run in behind. This lad can do both of those things. So why has he been brought in to replace Rasmus Højlund? Because the other side of the game that Damien alluded to there, link-up play. The way Manchester United are playing with the 2-10s narrow, he's got to be able to link up and little 1-2 combinations in those areas. Højlund couldn't do it, couldn't protect the ball, hadn't got that peripheral vision, that capability to play those little kind of combinations. This is what he has to do. I think he's capable of it. I think he has that level of technical ability. I think that's why he's been brought in, and Rasmus Højlund's been shifted out. Haven't quite seen enough of it yet, but I think it's in him.
He's ready to give us a post-match interview as well.
Ben, very well done today. After that result and that performance, I guess it must be a pretty happy Manchester United dressing room.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. It was definitely important for us to win the game for the guys, just for in general environment. We were fighting till the end, trying to give everything in every single situation, and thankfully then we won the game in the end.
How much pressure was there on you going into this game?
Obviously, it's always a lot of pressure, especially in the club like this. But we always take it in a positive way, try to take it in the best ways possible. We did it, and we show once again that we can play well, we can win games, and it's just now important to continue like that.
2 goals in 2 for you now, and your first goal at Old Trafford. How did that feel?
Yeah, definitely amazing. The atmosphere after the goal is just something that I was dreaming about always. And hopefully for a lot more goals like that.
We're sure he's definitely going to be an upgrade on Hoyland. I mean, Kenny mentioned the goals. Must have been a sickener for United fans to see Hoyland banging in those brilliant goals during the week.
It is, but look, his skill set didn't match up, which is just another example of Manchester United's very sloppy transfer policy. You know, that you need a number 9 now that can link it, that can front up, bring in the number 10s into play, kind of bring Bruno into play. Whereas Hoyland's just kind of running behind kind of merchant, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a place for people like him in the game. It's just Napoli would have looked at his skill set and he said, well, he suits what we want to do with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. So again, that scattered transfer policy that didn't make any sense. Hoyland was just a product of that.
One more positive before we go, Kenny, and that's at the other end of the pitch, a clean sheet on debut for Senny Lemens, the new goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think Gary Breen mentioned that no errors, no mistakes, and that's an improvement on what they've had so far this season. Decent enough save there. He makes himself big here again. Not getting too overly excited about that. I like the fact he came off his line on a number of occasions and commanded his penalty area. I think he was very competent with his
Caught
kick.
a few balls rather than just punching them.
Caught a few balls, like exactly. Yeah, very confident with his kicking as well. That kind of high defensive line kind of sweeped around a couple of times as well. Wouldn't get overly carried away with the performance, but the early signs were good.
Right, Sunderland, Damien, they might need to get a few more points on the board quickly because they've started so well, but there wasn't much there today.
Yeah, like listen, we always hear the term, there's no free games, there's no easy games in the Premier League. I think that was as soft as Manchester United are going to get. I'm not sure what Sunderland's overall game plan was. When you play against Manchester United, you want to set a high tempo, press them high up the pitch, win the ball back, or you drop into a low back and counter-attack them. Sunderland seemed to be caught in between two stools. You know, the front four were kind of half pressing, the back four dropped off, which gives Man United's good players time to play. Listen, they've had a great start, and I'm sure they will stay up this year. It's just that you don't get many opportunities to go to Old Trafford and win a football match. And I think if you set a tempo against Manchester United, you got a better chance. And they didn't do that today. So I think the fans will be... It was just lacklustre, wasn't it, Kenny? It was just... Ugh.
It was today, yeah, but generally speaking, they've played better than this. And I just like the makeup of the team in terms of a lot of athleticism in the team, legs. I like the pairing of Siddiqui and Xhaka in the central area of the pitch, and really good options off the bench as well. They're better than what they showed today. That's why they have 11 points already.
Just about out of time because Bulls against Leinster is coming right up. My thanks to Damien and Kenny today. You don't want to give us any of those old Millwall chants before you go?
Oh, fair, absolutely.
Probably, not suitable for on air. Thanks so much to the two of you for being such good sports today. We'll talk to you again soon.